Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my rant of Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 4, Honeymoon Hiccup. Are y'all ready to get into it? Okay, let's get started.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even
Aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties that wait. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody, and this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. If I had to rate this episode of Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 4, Honeymoon Hiccup, I will rate this episode a C minus. Let me know down in the comment section what you will rate this episode. Usually I give an explanation for why I'm rating it that low, but not today. It's just that low. It's a C minus for sure. This is the episode after the weddings. The couples are in their rooms, and now they are going to be waking up the next morning and meeting with the families. And I thought that this was very interesting. I'm going to take my time with this rant because I really want to be heard about what I think about this episode, like for real, and about each couple and sort of their families. Now, a spoiler has gone out. We know what couple stayed together and which ones aren't. And I think that, so far, we're seeing why they're not staying together. Some of these people are so fickle and just all over the place. I don't know whether or not they signed up for this because they're looking for an acting gig or what it is, but let me bring their faces up on a board just so you all can keep up with who we are talking about real quick. Let me make sure I got them. I got so many things. Happy Saturday, everybody. I'm hoping that your day was fantastic. Did I keep them or did I get rid of them? I think I got rid of them because I don't even see them over here. No, yes, they are. Yes, they are. So the first couple I want to talk about is Shaquille and Kirsten. This is a sad state of affairs because Shaquille doesn't understand that he has already been dropped. She has put him on his third strike, basically, in my opinion, and he doesn't even know that he's in the game. She is not interested in him, so why she's going along with this and not cutting this off has got to be, in my opinion, money motivated. Doesn't want to have to pay the money back, and it's just going along with the TV program. We have seen this done season after season after season. She's not attracted to him whatsoever. When she was with her bridesmaid, she made a comment about the reason why she did not kiss him. Now, in my opinion, she's a liar, or either she, has some other kind of default, because she had indicated to her girlfriends that if she turns her cheek, then she's not interested in him. And then she says that she wanted him to ask. But when they were in a honeymoon suite and having a conversation between the two of them, he asked her for a kiss and she denied him. So I'm saying, so then what you said previously, that if he asked you for a kiss, you probably would have given him one, or at least she alluded to the fact that she would. Now you're sitting here saying, no, just flat out, no, you're not ready. Instead of just telling this guy, I'm not attracted to your beard, I'm not attracted to your bald head, you've got 2 strikes against you, I don't like you. But at the same time, Shaquille has a very false sense of who he is and how he shows up in the world, in my opinion. When she went down with the family, she was very poised. She knows what to say. She knows the right questions to ask. She knows all of that kind of stuff. And she's trying to, act as if she's really interested in Shaquille. Shaquille, on the other hand, goes downstairs with her girlfriends. And to me, it was just a disaster. The girlfriends basically were like, what made you think that, this was something that you wanted to do? Why was this the route that you took? And I'm thinking to myself, ask your girlfriend that, right? Because she took the same route. But anyway, he sits there and says that he believes that God has done this and that him coming down there was a sign. But then he says that he saw all these road signs and advertisements and all these things. And he said he was ignoring them, but they kept showing up. Well, if you're on the same route back and forth to work, or the same route back and forth to school, you're going to see the same signs. So these people are trying to put God in it and make this some type of holy ceremony, when in all reality, it's just pure deep desperation and wanted to be on TV, in my opinion, as it relates to this couple. I think that if you do a show like this, even though I said they had like a over 50 show, I probably would do. No, the fuck I wouldn't. But anyway, I'm just thinking, in my mind, maybe I would, right? But you're riding down the same road, you're seeing the same signs, and you signed up. Don't make this about religion. Don't make this about God, because when it fails, where's God in it? Now you're going to say that God just wanted you to learn a lesson by being hurt on national television and rejected and dejected and all of that kind of stuff. Like what? The two of them are not blending with one another, and they don't even know about her. Her girlfriend, he was saying that, basically this thing fell in his lap. And, so he decided, because it fell in his lap, instead of taking it off of his lap and throwing it in the trash can, he decided to take it off his lap and pursue going through this rigorous process in order to be on the show. I just think that the two of them think more highly of themselves than they ought to. And I believe that they have made some false promises that neither one of them can or are willing to keep. Now, this is the honeymoon. They get their honeymoon package. They discover that they're going to be going to Jamaica. He now drops the bomb on her and tells her that they're not going, that she knows he's still in school. Well, she just found out 20 some hours ago that you're in school. So this wasn't something that she knew far in advance and was preparing herself, her heart, her mind, her spirit, her soul, in doing something different. He drops the bomb on her and tells her, well, I'm in school and I've got to go and do a presentation in Mississippi. So she's like, what? First of all, I don't even know why he was able to even make that decision for her. I don't understand it. This should have been something that the producers gave her heads up on, it should not have come from him. He should not be the one who makes a determination on when and where she goes. She should have had the opportunity to say, I will follow you to Mississippi. I will miss the first day of the honeymoon and I'll follow you. And she was not given that. What right did he have to make that decision for her? And she was like, you owe me big time. And he was like, I want you to see my life. Let me tell you something. She's got a life too. And when he was saying that he wants this woman, this trophy wife, to be under him, to support him and all that kind of stuff, he really took it overboard. And I think that he's going to be taking it overboard, and he's going to be wanting her to be first lady-ish. Like they is some type of religious sack, and she is just there to serve him. No, this girl is coming with her own credentials. And I believe that in future episodes, that is going to be one of their biggest problems, is that what he wants, Molly the homemaker, is not what he's got. He's got Kirsten, the businesswoman, who wants a husband who can go to church with her and stand by her and all that kind of stuff. But she is not going to be beholden to everything. Excuse me, y'all. I'm just sitting over here just all of myself right now. But we in Auntie's house, we all comfortable, right? That's what we do, Okay, y'all lucky I ain't putting my feet up here and putting my balm of Gilead up on it. Okay. Maybe one of those days I will do that, but today won't be that day. It's just the arms up to the elbows. But I just really believe that the biggest problem is going to be his big inflated ego, and that he thinks more highly of himself than really he ought to. And it is going to be the demise of his relationship, because at the whole onset of this, Kirsten came in with her own stuff. And I know that people get resentful of women who got it together and would love to have companionship and a man, right? You would love to have that, but you still have your own sense of independency, right? And I think that career women can do both. We can be dependent and independent, and independently dependent and dependently independent. We can do both, and we can be both. For some reason, society doesn't feel like a woman can do that, but a man can. We know how to balance our relationships and all of that kind of stuff too. We absolutely know how to do that. And we need to be able to get the credit for it. So I'm hoping that when people see Kirsten, first of all, he told her he wanted her to go. And then we see her in a hotel room. She could have been in Jamaica had he not made this decision. And decisions with couples cannot be made alone or independently of each other. She should have had the right to do this. Now, I'm sure that this was production driven and that they wanted to throw this monkey wrench in there. But if you are married at first sight and you want successful marriages, then you should give those marriages the opportunity to be successful. And this right here is a doozy for me. I don't care what the mother said. I don't care what the father said. I don't care what the friend said. I care about how they handled the situation between Shaquille and Kirsten. And he's walking around there with his chest puffed out, dragging his feet like he got bedroom slippers on. I don't know if y'all are hearing that or seeing that, but I am. And he doesn't even realize that he's unattracted to her. And that just even the thought of getting a kiss from him grosses her the hell out. And I'm going to tell you right now, the sad part about it is that all of this is going to deflate his ego. It's going to deflate him as a man. And we're going to see how he comes across. One of the things that her girlfriend said, if Kirsten does not fall in your lap, If she does not oblige you, how are you going to handle that? Well, we're going to have to talk and we're going to have to get to know each other. Oh, you're going to get to know each other. You're going to get to finding out, son, that she is absolutely not into you. And when we are, as women, are not into a man, it is hard to get us to turn around from that. He has already allowed himself to be in the friend zone. The thing about it is, don't ask me, okay, I hope y'all know I'm taking my time. Don't ask me for a kiss. Lean in for one. See if I can match that energy with you. See if I come in and meet you at this kiss. Don't sit there and say, "Can I get a kiss from you?" It was stupid when she said that she wanted him to ask. She know daggone well as women, that is not how we rock. Y'all let me know down in the comment if a mofo got to ask you for permission, or if you're more turned on, and have more respect for him. If he just leans in and tries to at least take that kiss, be intentional. Do it on purpose. Lean in, son. Lean in. Somebody's son, lean in. Okay. Like, I don't want somebody to be like, "Can I kiss you?" No, just try. That just would, I don't know. I guess I would have had to have been there. But for me, I like a man to show that he is a man. And sometimes, we may be, as women, we may be the one who pursues, well, no, because I don't pursue nothing and nobody really. I'll put it out there. If you don't bite, you don't bite. But we sometimes will lean in for the kiss or touch him gently and let him know that we're there or whatever. Anyway, before I go off onto the deep end and start talking about femininity, okay, we're going to move on. The next couple that we're going to talk about is Chris and Nicole. Chris and Nicole are hitting it off. And it is just wonderful to see that this woman is perfectly matched with her man. She has not had to use pineapple, not one time, because Chris is meeting her in conversation. He is delighted to be in her presence. He loves her free spirit. He loves her candor and her openness. He loves the transparency that she is showing. The two of them are holding hands and they are really doing the damn thing. And when he went down to go and meet with her family, her family, the dad was trying to be sarcastic and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know why they're using this Jeffrey Dahmer reference or whatever. But the father is a New Yorker, and he wanted to make sure that all of his boys, heard him, according to Nick, and that he had these little dry ass jokes. And the thing about it is, why you perceive it in the moment that your joke is landing, we, the public, we don't see the jokes landing. We see them as sarcastic and all of that, right? And it just doesn't read well on television. At least in my opinion, it don't read well. And so, they really like each other. She went down and talked to the family, and the mother told her, "Nick is going to have your back. He's going to cook your food. He is going to buy you flowers. He's going to be respectable. He's going to do anything," while his brother Brandon is sitting up there waiting for the next shoe to drop. And I thought that his brother Brandon was very negative at the table, and I couldn't understand why he was so negative towards her. And I know that his intention is to look and say, "You know what, hey, my brother, falls hard and stuff like that, and he's got to recover." But guess what? At the end of the day, your brother signed up for this experiment, and he's going to have to go through this experiment, and he knows the risk. There's a risk that he could not be matched with the right person. Fortunately for him, he is. They had a very transparent moment where they were talking about their past relationships, and he indicated that when they found out they were going to Jamaica, that he had been on a trip before with someone. And he said that when he was on a trip with the girl, this was somebody he had been dating, but she treated him like a stranger. He said he didn't get the, the kitty. She didn't want to hold his hand. It was like they were strangers. And he said the attention and the connection that we have is greater than the one that I had when I was with her. And I thought that that was really good that the two of them are being very transparent about that. I think that some stuff you need to hold back, but she had mentioned, being in a relationship with a gentleman when she was younger. And she's always been the type of person that, wants to please and, goes above and beyond. And she mentioned the relationship that she was in, where the guy was like, you're not worthy of love. You're lucky that I'm even dating you. Um, and she, always felt like that in her relationships, that she had to do everything to be perfect and to be accepted. She said that this gentleman told her, you're so, if you love me, you'll let me burn you with this cigarette. And so he took a cigarette and burnt her on her arm, and she showed him the scar. And and Chris' response was just perfect. It was just perfect. He gave her sympathy. He showed her compassion and empathy. And then he built her up. And he let her know that you are worthy of love. He tells her that she doesn't even need makeup on, that she's beautiful without it. Like, he's just the perfect guy. And he's a guy that you dream of, right? You dream to get a guy who worships you and doesn't mind saying you look beautiful today. And you can say you look handsome yourself, just that type of thing, right? Especially when you're trying to pursue a relationship with somebody, you want to be free to have these kind of conversations and stuff. And so I think that their relationship is fantastic, and I am really enjoying watching them. Thank you so much, Nathan Tim, too, for the $2 super chat. God bless you. Auntie, love your reviews. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So this was a good match. This was one that they seriously got it right this time. And so for that, I'm happy. We're gonna see them come up against some bumps and stuff like that, but I think they're gonna do really good. The next couple that I want to talk about is Clint and Gina. This is not going to work out because Gina is not attracted to him, and she's throwing shade about the color of this man's ginger hair. She went down with the family, honey, and told the fam that, usually he wouldn't be one she would pick out the garden. They wake up in the morning. He wants to be, intimate with her, and she doesn't. And I really believe that Gina would have been intimate with him had he not been ginger. Had he been dark and lovely and not the perm, she would have been all over this man. Gina uses her charm and her big southern smile to, in my opinion, manipulate people into believing. Is manipulate the word I want to use? I don't think that's the word I want to use, but for a better term, for them to think that she is this sweet Southern woman, and she's not. Not in my opinion. She is one of those women who is business minded, and that's all she knows. And I sat, with myself last night. Moment of transparency. And I thought, have I been a Gina? Have circumstances and situations in my life trying to build a brand and an empire and a career in order to support my family? Have I been a Gina? Have I been someone who has put career before love? Has love always been on the back burner for me and everything else has been on the front. Like I had to really have a conversation with myself because as I really began to dive into the show, I saw fragments, not all, but fragments of myself in Gina. And I made a confession to myself and a confession to God that I want to be self aware and I don't want to throw love off at the cost of something else. That I want to be open to it, especially in these years, right? I want to be open to love. But when I look back over my life and I look back over my journals, I realize that I have been so focused on meeting things on my vision board, accomplishing those things, and love doesn't really come in. I think I had one thing about love in there, and that was like a new man, but I that was one little small blurb out of everything else that was on my vision board. I've shared with some of you on my vision board, and I'm telling you right now, love was the smallest thing on it. It was like so it's like, okay, I don't want to be like Gina. I don't want to sit down at a table and talk to someone about my career and about all those kind of things and never really have what I think I now desire because I never desired marriage and I don't even know why. Like I'm really trying to look into that and I think that Gina wants companionship, but I don't think that Gina really wants marriage because when you are judging your husband or your spouse based on red hair, whether or not he has red hair, to me, you are just narrow minded and unable to see the beauty even in his red hair. At this point, he's your husband. But see, if he said that I don't like a woman with big teeth, and they look like they've been engineered, or if he says I don't like a woman who has a wrinkle down her forehead when she smiles. We all got things that we could or would change, and we of course we do have our preferences. But when your preferences get in the way and you're down there telling the family, yeah, he's hot, but he's not the one that I would go, that's him. Boo. Nobody has been, that's him. And in return, Clint says that he's ready for something that he's not because he's really ready to be physical with her without even knowing her. And everything that he was saying was so manufactured to the family. We've got to talk. We're going to have to talk through this. We're going to have to. I said, shut the hell. Yeah, I don't see them lasting long at all. The next couple that I want to talk about is McKinley and Dominique. And I thought that this was very unfortunate. This man is got the shock of his life when this woman walked down the aisle. She got the shock of her life when she walked down the aisle to meet with him. Neither one of them, I think, were ready for an interracial relationship. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep it a buck 100. In my opinion, they weren't ready for this. While they did not say, I only want to date white women, or I only want to date black women, or I only want to date, this, they should have. Because this isn't starting off on the right foot. And she just appears that she wants to be a party girl. She's sitting there, she's having conversations with him. And it's very obvious that she was drunk. She said on the after show that she was, had a few too many drinks. And I think that that's going to be an issue in their relationship. I also think that there's going to have to be a level of honesty. Her mother is comparing him to Jeffrey Dahmer and saying Jeffrey Dahmer was nice, but I want to get to know you. But the mother signed her up for this. And mom, while you signed her up for this, you cannot be in this relationship. You don't have a relationship with McKinley other than you're the mother-in-law. You should have made sure that your daughter was very specific about what it is that she wanted. and not just give these perfect answers to the family where the mother called BS on the play. And I know that a lot of people have been coming against the mother and saying different things, I just have seen other content creators making more out of the mother and trying to make this, or trying to make it appear that the mother may be a little, but I don't see that. I see a mother who was willing at the beginning of this, before they even walked down the aisle, she offered him $50,000 not to do this. I see a mother who sees her son as ill prepared to be in a relationship. I see a mother who wanted her son to avoid being embarrassed. This is what I see. I don't see an individual who would have treated a blonde haired, blue eyed girl any different. She thought that this was dumb. And the mother said, I thought this was nuts. And that's why she was willing to pay him $50,000 not to do the show before he even knew. This, in my opinion, is a man who's not ready. He said that in his 20s, he was horn around. In his 30s, he got career focus. And now here he is marrying someone at first sight. He doesn't have a lot of experience in relationships. They asked him about, had he ever dated an African American woman or a woman of another race or ethnicity. And he said, I've dated white woman. I've dated Asian woman. That and I'm saying, why isn't he saying women? And he said, and I dated a black woman, but they didn't like me. So it seems like the white woman and the Asian woman didn't like you either, because here we are. But I think that Dominique answered the questions the best she could. When the mother said she thought that this was nuts, she responded appropriately and was like, okay, is it hot in here or no? I'm really uncomfortable. But I think that the mother is just a person who has a stick up in her butt, no matter who it would have been. The other sister, the daughter and the cousin or whoever it was, they all were uncomfortable. And I think he's uncomfortable too. I think he's very uncomfortable, even in the way that he approaches her, the way that he engages with her. He's very uncomfortable. But I don't think that the mother, and I may be wrong, maybe something to come out, maybe a neighbor dropped some tea with somebody and she'll be exposed. But from what I'm seeing, this isn't about race. This just about the process that he has done, and the mother is not happy with it. Did the mother have a resting bitch face? Absolutely, she did. Was it edited for us to believe that there may be a wait a minute? Did it appear that it was edited in a way for us to think that the mother was a Karen? Yes. But I always tell you all, when I watch these shows beyond what they want me to see and what they want me to walk away with. And I think it's so unfair to this woman if she's not that kind of way. And I don't think she is. Now, like I said, if a receipt come out, bitch, then we're going to have to be having a different conversation. And then we'll go back and we'll reassess. But I just felt like, she just a biatch. She just one of those mamas. He was comfortable with the family, but not really. And I think it's because, like Shaquille, he thinks that he's ready for something that, bitch, he just not ready for. He's just not ready. And his mama knew it. Last but not least, I'm not going to be able to keep that thing up because I keep forgetting to. So I'll put it up briefly. Heiress and Jasmine. Let me tell you, this makes me so sad. Because I'm going to be saying some things that's not going to be popular. Or that you're going to be thinking, Auntie, this girl is in La La Land. First of all, she comes into this relationship with all these dogs. On her honeymoon night, she is ready to please and serve this man. She comes out with her pink lingerie on, which I thought was too much. Unless you about to give up the booty, it's no need of sleeping in that. I mean, let's just be, it's no need. That's eye candy. That's candy for a man. Unfortunately, he's not into her. He's not into Heiress. But she is. Because she's been wishing on a star. She's been a hoping and a praying that she would find this man. But even at the dinner table, he could not look her in her face. He's very spoiled and self-centered, and his cousins and everything, everybody's backing him up. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to have the conversation. He knows how to put on a charm. But let him sit down in a room with the right people for the right amount of time. And all of his mask will be sitting on the floor. He'll be sitting in his seat of shame. This guy is playing a game, and I really do believe that he is attracted to Dominique. Now, there have been rumors out there in the street, and I think that he has been attracted to her, or Clint is attracted to somebody, one or the other. He said on the after show, and I know I'm skipping around. I'm going to come back, okay? I'm going to land. He said on the after show, when he was asked by the host, Keisha Knight Pullen, he was asked, what is your type? There's no reason why they would ask that if they weren't trying to dig or to throw shade. He said, well, I really don't know what my type is. I just know it when I see it. So you knew it when you saw Dominique? Because Heiress isn't it. And Heiress isn't ready either. Although Heiress thinks she is, she's not ready. Because I agree with the cousin 100%. All of her answers are like she's on a stage trying to get the crown. It is very contrived, and I don't want to say that she's poised. I want to say that she's already studied. And she has already looked at every question that could be coming her way. At the same time, his cousins know he's a dog. And they don't want to acknowledge and tell this girl, see, the cousin is making it about her, but she know her cousin's flawed. I guarantee you that she know that this daggone man has been with a woman 2 weeks prior to this. I know they know that he's an only child. He's spoiled. He seemed like he got a bunch of female cousins, and they have just been letting him run amok and making excuses for his poor ass behavior towards women. He is on this show because he said he got himself together. But bitch, just being able to use a computer and a mouse for the first time in 50 years, bitch, doesn't mean that you got it together. And for me, he doesn't have it together, and the cousins are covering this up. They are covering it up. They are making it about everybody else and not about him. This mother wants affirmation every 5 minutes from her. But when was the last time we saw him give her a compliment, say something nice about her? The only thing that he said nice about her was that when he sat up in the bed when she came out with the pink outfit on. He gets up in the morning, how's my cuddle rating? Rate me on my cuddle. On a scale of 1 to 10. What do I get? He wants to be rated. Every man on this show turned off the lights in the hotel room. See, it's the small stuff. Every man in this show turned off. I don't believe that. I don't believe my account for commenting. She don't want him. She's just a protective. Like, I don't know why people think stuff like that. Not to call you out, but to call you out. The comment. She don't want him. She is just used. They are used to protecting him. He is an only child, and he's spoiled. And Jasmine, I mean, is it the damn girl named Jasmine? Let me make sure. Okay, Jasmine. Wait a minute. Is falling into it. And I'm going to get to that, right? Because that's why I wanted to really take my time and not be screaming and hollering. She's every man on this episode, with the exception of Heiress, got up and turned out the lights. Did Gina ask, would you like me to get them? Did Gabby ask, would you like me to cut the lights off? All the women asked, and all the men said, no, got it. Except for this mother. She says, I'm going to get the lights. You want me to get the lights? He said, yeah, and lay back. He has no gentleman skills. He probably is close with his cousins and do the stuff that cousins do, but he doesn't have any kind of chivalry. He doesn't know how to be a man. And then when somebody say something to him about this, he gonna say he was emasculated. He gonna say that she treated him wrong and she don't know how to appreciate a man. Because he should have got up and cut the lights out. Matter of fact, none of these women shouldn't have even had to ask. But they asked out of courtesy and as a task. He's the only one that laid his ass in that bed and let that woman get up and lock the door and cut the lights out. What kind of man is that? So if you're my husband, I'm going to be the bitch walking around, taking the trash out, cutting the lights out in the house, making sure everything is safe and secure. The security system is on at night. Bitch, what? Because when they got to the honeymoon in Jamaica and they got in the tub, he told her, go and get me some grapes and feed me some grapes. See, he thinks that because he got a peen between his legs, that he's a king. And then he said, I'm the king. I feel like a king. She said, you are the king. But bitch, when are you going to wear a crown other than the one that you want to wear in competitions? You got to crown yourself because he ain't doing it. He's not saying or doing anything that's making her feel like a queen. I don't even expect to have to ask my man to turn the lights out. That's just something a man does. It's just in a real man. A man who hasn't been pampered like a poodle, bitch. A real man is going to get up and it lets me see how he relates to his mother, because a real man who loves his mama, you don't have to ask him to get your doors. You don't have to ask him to make sure you get in the house safely. A real man ain't going to come to your house and be blowing a fucking horn. A real man is not going to be expecting you to treat him as a king outside of his kingship and him acting as a king. Because when you see a man as a king, you treat him as such. And a cousin is sitting down there making this about pageantry. She asked her whether or not she had lived with somebody before. She said, yeah. She said, well, how long ago was that? She said 7 months. But bitch, your cousin slept with somebody 2 weeks ago. Now, I don't know whether or not she noticed or not, but your cousin slept with somebody 2 weeks ago. Check him. She said, well, the relationship, she was like, golly, I mean, that was fast. I mean, she was like, well, when you're breaking up with somebody, the relationship is already over before you make a decision to break up, which is some bullshit. Because a mother can get put out that day. You may have had frustrations. You may have seen red flags. But don't tell me that the day that he goes away or he gets put out is a timestamp. Don't tell me that everything is pre-planned and that, because see, I've been around long enough, I've been in enough relationships to know it can end that day. It can be just something that is just so high on my non-negotiable list that it's over that day. And I could have been with you for months. And that's why a lot of my friends used to say, you ain't never really been in love. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. They swear I've never been really in love. Yes, I have. But I also know when I'm done. And I could be done 2 weeks before, or 2 days, or 2 hours. Because if it's a non-negotiable, something I can't deal with, I'm done. And I'm going to make sure that you know that I'm done. And when I'm done, I'm done. There's been one relationship that I went back and forth with. You know what I'm saying? The little arguments and stuff like that. And went back and forth and all that bull. But the rest of them just done. Just know it's just not good for me. And I ain't going to be able to tolerate it. And I don't believe in wasting people's time. And I don't want people to waste mine. Because I believe that what you do, go around, comes around. Thank you so much, Dressy O-Age. For the $9.99 super chat, it's giving kissing cousins very weird. Okay. It's not to me. It's not giving kissing cousins to me. I don't know how people do things in your family. And I'm not going to judge that. But when we love our men cousins, we love our men cousins. And it just is what it is. And there's a different type of protection. And this is just coming from me and from what I've observed with my family. When it comes to the men in our lives, we are like that. And we don't want to suck or do any of that with our cousins. It's just that we are very protective and we find ourselves very upfront. And it's unfortunate that she can't be upfront. It's unfortunate that she can't be in a position where she doesn't see this in a good light, and she has to be judged as now she wants something with her cousin. I think that that's unfair. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. And if somebody ever said that about me, I would drag the fuck out of them about my male cousins. Different people love differently. And the only thing that I see her doing, I've never seen her be physical with him. I've never seen her give him the eye. They've never shown her in a uncompromising position with her cousin. All they've shown, in my opinion, is a woman who is protective over her male cousin. And maybe I'm blind, but I've seen it in a whole lot of families. So And I've never accused anybody of that unless they were, legitimately kissing cousins like the Proctors. If you from the DMV area, you know about the Proctors. I think that she is being very realistic. And based on what we've seen from him, we all know he ain't we all know that he said he was with somebody 2 weeks ago. We all know that what the cousin is saying about him is true. Do she think that this girl is pageantry? Yes, she does. Does she seem like she coming on poise? Yes, because even when she went back to the room to tell him about the cousin, she wasn't honest. She was high level. Instead of saying, your cousin is rubbing me the wrong way. Your cousin, it's one thing to, be opposed to you doing this, but it's another thing to be disrespectful and calling me a pageant queen. But she didn't. Your cousin got you. She got you. No, stop it with the filtered conversation. Say what you think. Say what you think. But I am never going to come out here as a YouTuber or content creator and say that about somebody. Like, y'all ain't getting me all caught up in that. Thank you, though, Boo, for the super chat. And that's your opinion. And one thing about it, I want you all to be able and free. Let me put the comment back up here. I want you to be very free with your commenting. This is what you thought. And you know what? That's your opinion and you're entitled to it here at Auntie's Advice, and you're welcome to that. But honey, you ain't getting me caught up with these families, okay, and having somebody doing a defamation slander on I'ma keep it pageantry and high level than a mother. Okay. That's what we gonna do up on here. Okay. But Jasmine is with a guy that just doesn't have it. He's not, he's in a man's body, but he's not he's not genuinely, if that's a word. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I love you all to pieces. And y'all have a great night. Thank you so much for the super chats. I really do appreciate it. And thank you to my moderators who always keep the room nice and safe. Thank you to Nathan Temp 2 and to Miss Dressy. I love you all to pieces. Y'all, until next time, y'all be safe. Love y'all. Sound off in the comments. I know y'all ready to read my ass.